Greetings, this is the Grumpy Old Slan, and today we're going to discuss Companions on the Road by Tanith Lee. This is a rather slim volume, only about 120 pages. This is the edition from 1988, but it was originally published in 1975 with a different color. If I can find a good scan of it somewhere, I'll try and put it up. The story concerns Havor, who is a captain in the Southern King's army. The Southern King has been expanding his territory and conquering the northern lands that belong to a sorcerer king. They have been very successful, and they are at the gates of Avilis, the city of the sorcerer king, and it's winter is upon them. They expect a long siege. One of Havor's men approaches him. His name is Lucan. He's quite young. He has joined the army because his family lives on a farm and is quite poor. The land doesn't yield much. His hopes are for his wages to help his family. He's afraid he's going to die in the upcoming battle and asks Havor to please bring the money to his family should he die. Asked if he's not worried that Havor would keep the money, he says he trusts his captain to do the right thing. That night, residents of the city have opened the gates. They hope that living under the rule of the Southern King will be easier and better for them than under the rule of the Sorcerer King. The soldiers enter the city, they loot and sack it. Havor, in the last few months, has seen a bit too much. He's good at his job, but he does not enjoy it. He finds out Lucan did die and resigns his commission and decides to head south to Lucan's family farm. After his resignation, he runs into Felush, his second in command, a man he doesn't particularly like, who tends to goad him and try to get a rise out of him. He remains impassive to it, which of course brings more goading. A man bumps into both of them, and they both realize that he was a pickpocket. Havor lost the purse that Lucan gave him. Felush lost his purse. They run after and manage to catch the thief. Felush wants to kill him. However, the thief pleads for his life and tells him he can lead them to a huge treasure in the Sorcerer King's castle, something he heard about from an old man once. Havor is doubtful, but he doesn't want to kill the man for no good reason. They got their money back. There's no need for further bloodshed. They do follow him to the castle. The man follows the instructions he was given. They find a secret room in which is a golden gem-encrusted chalice. They will take the chalice and decide to go to the city of Venka, where they hope to sell it. That morning, they each get on their horses and they start on their journey. After a few hours, the thief, whose name is Kachil, thinks they're being followed. Havor also believes he sees some riders following them, but it's unclear who they are. They will rest at the first town, but during the night, Kachil dies in his sleep. Apparently, death came to him in his dreams. Residents of the town find out that they have the golden chalice of the Sorcerer King. They recognize it, and they refuse to have any dealings with them. They won't let them bury Kachil in the town cemetery. They won't even take their money for the night they spent at the inn or the food they ate. They just want them out of the town as quickly as possible. So they leave. After a few hours of travel, they bury Kachil. They keep going. They meet an old woman who foretells their death. And that second night, it will be Felush's turn to die in his sleep. At this point, Havor believes that if he falls asleep, he will die. At the next town he comes across, instead of stopping to rest, he will go to a herbalist and ask for something that will prevent him from sleeping. The herbalist will agree to brew a potion for him, even though he told him what he has in his possession. The herbalist will do it in exchange for the 2 horses of his dead companions. At this point, Havor is not interested in selling the chalice. His hope was to take the money and give it to Lucan's family in addition to what few wages Lucan had. His hope now is to find a priest or someone who can maybe help with the curse that seems to be associated with the chalice. And what he has become convinced is the sorcerer king, his son and daughter, who are following him. At this point, a snowstorm hits. Havor keeps drinking of the potion brewed by the herbalist to keep awake. But of course, as he was warned, the less he sleeps, the less effective the potion is. He gets waylaid on his way to Venka. He's half conscious. He's semi-delirious with fatigue. His horse got startled by something earlier, and so he's walking now. A wolf is after him, and like him, the wolf seems alone. He ends up near a farm. It turns out to be Lucan's family farm, but only Lucan's sister is left, the others having died of a sickness earlier that year. Havor knows that he cannot get to Venka in time before he falls asleep from exhaustion and dies. He also knows that wherever the chalice is left, its corruption will spread through the land. So he wants to bring it as far away as possible from any town or village and bury it somewhere. Will he manage to get rid of the chalice? Will he manage to survive the sorcerer king and his undead children following him? I really enjoyed this book. It's clearly inspired by a lot of sword and sorcery. However, like more recent examples of this, the protagonist is more thoughtful, less brash. I'm thinking here of Elric, for example. Like Elric or Conan, he goes his own way. Unlike Conan, he's not much concerned with riches and loot. He just wants to make his way, be left alone, leave others alone. Yet he will also take responsibility for his actions and follow up on whatever promises he has made, which is partly what gets him into trouble. His greed for the chalice comes from his desire to help out Lucan's family, as opposed to his two companions who just want to have the money. One because he's a thief who almost cannot help himself. If he sees something valuable, he'll try and get it. And the other because he is vain and wants to show off and show himself to be better than others. And an easy way to do this is with money. It's a fast read because it's not very long. It's also an interesting setup. We start at the beginning of a siege, which is shortened. The focus is not on the big battle, but on certain individuals that are in it. There are few fights, unlike, say, most Conan stories. Yet these are fighting men, but it is not their ability to fight that will get them through their ordeal. I highly recommend the book. If you find it somewhere, take the time to read it. This has been The Grumpy Old Slan, looking at Companions on the Road by Tanith Lee, and I'll see you next time.